Hey, hi everybody. I'm so excited to go live today. Haven't gone live in a little bit. You've been having some pretty awesome Facebook Lives with the different coaches. I think if you just search in this group video, you'll be able to see all of them that come up. But if you don't, then head over to our WAG Live YouTube channel where we upload all of these Facebook Lives with all of the different coaches. So if you wanted to see a Facebook Live of your coach in particular and you've just never, seen your coach in person, or you've never seen how they speak, or just want to get to know them a little better, head to our WAG Live YouTube channel and you will see all of the coaches' Facebook Lives over there. So it might be really fun to get to know your coach a little bit better. Today, I'm going to talk about something that I like to call defining success. So the hardest part about any nutrition program or sticking to any type of diet is going to be those situations that are outside of your control. So keep in mind eating out at restaurants, going to events, weddings, parties, on vacation. All of those moments are the hardest because it takes a lot of willpower, it takes a lot of planning. You have to think, how much can I do? There's so much temptation. There's peer pressure. You just want to relax and you don't necessarily want to track your food super diligently. These are the moments where you really can, take things completely overboard and derail your progress. And so this was happening to me for a little while. So I stopped competing in weightlifting in 2016. So over the past 2 years, I haven't had to maintain a weight class. I didn't need to weigh a specific amount. I haven't been posting as much on social media as I used to, so I don't have that pressure to look a certain way, even though that seems silly that I even had that, but I did. And not competing and not being an athlete, I've been traveling a significantly amount more for different business conferences or to help people in our company or personal development or try and grow WAG to be the most successful and best company that it can be. And so I ended up in all of these new cities, and it was without a clear reason for me to be 100% motivated, like I'm going to be competing in this weightlifting meet. For me, it was all or nothing. So I would be 100% on track or, just throw everything out the window when I would go on vacation and I couldn't be 100% on track. It was a lot harder for me. So for me, it was all or nothing. I had the best intentions. I would go on these trips and I would think, I'm going to track everything. I'm going to weigh myself every day. I'm going to say no to temptations. I'm going to work out when I get there. I'm going to eat mostly vegetables and high volume. I'm not going to have any drinks when we go out. All of these things, I expected myself to be absolutely perfect. And I even had a higher expectation of myself because I'd done it for so long before. So it's like, oh, I should be able to do this. But when I would get there and I wasn't able to meet this perfect experience of going on this trip or going on this vacation and being absolutely 100% dialed in, I would just say, screw it. And I would go way overboard and then come back. I'd feel guilty. I feel shameful about the decisions I made. I felt gross. I couldn't sleep as well. I wouldn't wake up as well. I'm totally human, and I know that there's probably so many people watching this that have had that same experience. So a huge game changer for me was when I decided to create this concept of defining what success looks like for me. So that means when I look back on this trip or this vacation or whatever event it is, when I look back, what does success look like? And it's important to be as descriptive as possible and to also make it as realistic, reasonable as possible, and also to allow for some fun and joy as well. So I'm going to give an example because it's a little bit hard to just talk about it hypothetically. It's kind of a little intangible process. But defining success, for example, I went to Los Angeles for 2 days. I went Tuesday night and I came back Thursday. So it was basically 2 full days of travel. And when I look back on those 2 full days of travel, what would success look like for me? So for me, those 2 days worth of travel meant that I did a workout on Wednesday and it had to be a minimum of 10 minutes long. And I had to at least put all of the food that I ate, estimated or not, or weighed or anything, into my fitness pal. There wasn't a lot of pressure around what numbers I was going to hit. It was just more be conscious of the food that I was eating, input it into my FitnessPal. So I had that step of, do I really want to eat this because I'm going to have to put it in my FitnessPal and my coach is going to see it on Sunday. Even if I wasn't perfect, I still had that extra step of accountability for myself. That was my definition of success. Put all my food in my FitnessPal and do one minimum 10-minute workout on Wednesday. The workout that I did was 5 rounds, 5 burpees, 10 walking lunges, and 15 air squats. I think it took me less than 10 minutes, so I actually got on the elliptical for the rest of the time. And that was just my definition of success. So the key when you're defining success, so it's like fine and dandy, you defined what success is for you, cool. Sorry. The key is that anything that you do that falls outside of this definition of success that you've created for yourself is not a failure. So that means that if I didn't work out on Tuesday, then that wasn't deemed as a failure in that trip. Or if I had a dessert at dinner on Wednesday when we went out for dinner, it's not in my definition of success. If I had a drink at dinner that day, it's not in my definition of success. So entertaining those behaviors was not seen as a failure to me. And for me, that moment of failure or having expecting myself not to have any drinks, weigh and measure every single thing I eat, track every single thing I eat, exercise for at least, do an hour CrossFit class, weigh myself in the morning, drink tons of water, any of those that turned into a failure because I obviously couldn't meet that serious definition of success would just turn into screw it. I'm just going to do whatever I want. I have no, I just don't believe in myself anymore, and I'm just going to completely self-sabotage and then do damage that's a lot harder to bounce back from. So I wasn't perfect. I actually didn't have a drink, but I had fajitas, and then when I tracked it, when I added it into my FitnessPal, I bet I definitely went over my fat, and I estimated it, and I put that in my FitnessPal, and I came back, and I looked back, and I said, I put everything I ate in my FitnessPal, I did that workout on Wednesday, and I can feel successful in a situation that was actually really difficult for me. It's a difficult situation for me to travel, and then next time, I've built that muscle of being able to be successful and appreciate my own success. Taylor Mendez made a post in the group recently saying that we don't take accountability for our own success. We only take accountability for our failures. So I was able to take accountability. I was successful. I set up this definition of success for myself, and I actually followed through. And that feels really good to have some integrity with yourself. You do the things that you say you're going to do, and it just really feels amazing. So I came back, I weighed myself this morning. I actually didn't gain any weight at all. Maybe if I would have been 100% perfect on my macros, I would have actually lost some weight, but who knows? All I know is that because I was feeling successful based on these markers of success, I didn't just say screw it and go completely overboard. I actually came back from the experience motivated and excited that I stuck to what I said I was going to stick to instead of now needing to dig myself out of this hole. I know that I'm sure so many of you have been there. You overeat, you eat things, you're making the decision to eat something when you know you shouldn't be eating it while you're making that decision to eat it. You're I know I shouldn't do this. I know I actually don't want to do this. This goes totally against the goals I've set for myself, but I'm going to eat it anyways. I didn't have any of that, even though if I would have set this unrealistic standard for myself, I might have felt that. So I hope that this is a strategy that it might work for you. I know that it's not going to work for absolutely everybody. My husband's one of those people who's he feels like he's absolutely all or nothing. So having some but not all just doesn't work for him right now. So for those of you that have been tracking for a while, then try this out. Set up a definition for success for yourself. And that could be a million different things. It could be saying no to unplanned food. It could be drinking a certain amount of water each day. It could be having vegetables in every single meal. Could be exercising each day a minimum amount of time, or it could be being present or meditating every day. I would recommend to choose maybe 2 or 3 things, and this is only in situations that are really difficult for you. So situations that are kind of out of your control, business conferences where people are making food for you, travel, vacation, weddings. So 2 or 3 things that you can stick to and create that as your markers for success, so you're not even focused on the other things. And I promise you that you'll be less likely to do all of those things that derail your progress, like eating sweets or trying to avoid sweets altogether, that kind of stuff. You're going to feel less guilty when you come back, less shameful about the decisions that you made, and so motivated to get right back on track. The goal is really to limit any risks of the, oh, I was just not so perfect, I went overboard. And the best part about all of it is you actually get to enjoy your experience when you're there. You know, you're on vacation and you feel yourself, like I just talked about, making those decisions that are, I don't want to eat this piece of cake right now. I'm going to eat it anyways. I know this does not fit in my macros, but I'm going to eat it anyways. It kind of ruins your vacation. You don't get to sit there and be present with your vacation, and you just feel guilty the whole time. And you're like, oh, I just can't wait to get home and back to my routine. How many people have been on vacation and are like, I can't wait to get home to be back in my routine, when right before you left for vacation, you're like, oh, I can't wait to get on vacation and relax. We've all been there. So I want you guys to actually be able to enjoy these vacations and say, you know, I want to savor every single minute that I'm on vacation and not just crave being back in routine, but appreciate what you're doing and having fun and be successful even when you're not like 100% disciplined and dialed in. That is how you're going to make this process sustainable for you long term, far beyond when you don't use this program anymore, far beyond having a coach to keep you accountable week to week. You're going to be able to maintain all of that progress that you've made for yourself. So I hope that you use this strategy. If you do, if you listen to this and you have an event coming up, you have something that's difficult for you to control, and you want to create a definition of success for yourself, put it in the comments, tag me in it. I will definitely help you through the comments come up with some type of definition of success if you'd like me to. If anybody else wants to do the same thing, talk to your coach. Your coach knows you really well. You are too emotionally connected to most situations to make these kinds of decisions for yourself, generally. Sometimes you can, but use your coach as a resource. Let them know you have this particular event coming up. These are the obstacles you're going to face. You want to create some definition of success for yourself. And ask yourself, looking back on this event, what is success going to look like for me? And what would a successful trip, vacation, event, wedding look like when it's all said and done? I know that's kind of a long rant about one particular topic, but it's like completely changed the game for me. So I, of course, wanted to share it with you. And I'm super happy that I just went to Los Angeles and actually used it. And it also has been super useful for a couple of my clients. So I'm excited to share that with you. Please comment with some things that you're going to be implementing, and I'd love to hear it. I know it was short and sweet, but I prefer it that way. Love you guys.